ball finds a hole up the middle.
Steps up, goes deep left side, receiver open, counting, touchdown Titans! Takes a nice shot outside the goal box and he will break the 0-0 tie. Fantastic shot by Kenloff Solon.
Giller makes a move, a good one, opportunity here, the Bears score! The Bears strike first.
He's at the 40, he's down to the 30, the 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Jalen Fry. Why not? What a beautiful run.
Maureen there, fights her off the puck, opportunity here, another sit, and a goal! Second chance effort for the Pioneers.
Put the icing on the cake, if you will, Michael. Go down and got to the outside and said good evening and good night.
What's shaking, everybody, and welcome to Friday Night Football here on TV 19 Sports. We are at Mahtomedi High School for homecoming as the Mahtomedi Zephyrs play host to the Hastings Raiders. I am Sam Erickson alongside my partner John Miller. John, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, Sam. The crowd's pumped up. Let's broadcast some football.
You better believe the crowd's pumped up. We are here for homecoming, and we're going to take a look at that weather as it is mostly clear, and the wind is coming in from the east to the southeast at 8 miles per hour. Temperature sitting at 64 degrees, so it should be a beautiful night for homecoming festivities here at Mahtomedi. And talking about a Mahtomedi team, they're coming into this one very confident with a great start to their season, right, John?
Yeah, Sam, Mahtomedi is 4-0 in the East Metro Red Division. Hastings is sitting in the middle of the pack. Mahtomedi is number 4 in Class 5A. They are tied at the top with South St. Paul, who is number 1 now in Class 4A, so absolutely a tough division there, but a great Mahtomedi team so far.
Yeah, it looks like that East Metro Red District might come down to the wire to see who's the champion. But for tonight's matchup, we're going to take a closer look. John, what do you got for us?
Yeah, let's look at the keys to the game for Hastings. They're coming off a 26-0 loss against that number 1 South St. Paul team that I just talked about. And their key is they must score in the first quarter. Mahtomedi has not allowed an opponent to score in the first quarter yet so far this year. But now let's take a look at Mahtomedi. As I said, they're ranked 4th in Class 5A. They're averaging 280 rushing yards per game. They're a predominantly running team, and their key is Jalen Fry. This kid is an absolute monster.
Yeah, let's hear a little bit more about Jalen Fry coming into this game. Doing it pretty good, right, John?
Yeah, he's averaging 163 yards per game, 5 touchdowns on the year. Just an absolute beast. You can expect them to keep feeding him the ball, and I expect him to light up the scoreboard tonight, Sam.
Well, we'll see if Mahtomedi can rush to victory here against Hastings as we get ready to kick things off. We'll have that opening kickoff for you when we return. This is Friday Night Football here on TV 19.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you? Gary, financial aid forms. Biology homework, G. Picking a college, man. You and us go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos.
Welcome back to everybody to Friday Night Football here on TV 19 Sports. We're here at Mahtomedi High School for homecoming as the 4-0 Zephyrs host the Hastings Raiders sitting at 2-2. I am Sam Erickson with John Miller here to bring you all the action as we're awaiting the opening kickoff in just a few moments. Should be a great game here tonight, John. Homecoming, everything. Great atmosphere here in the stadium. So we're real excited for the action to get started.
Yeah, we got a great Mahtomedi team, interdivision against Hastings, the East Metro Red. Anything can happen in these divisional games. Let's see how this one goes.
That's right, kind of with the reshuffling of the districts and conferences. Every game counts. All the regular season games are conference games for these teams. So right now, Mahtomedi is sitting at 4-0 in conference, and that'll go a long way in determining a conference champion.
It sure will, Sam. Mahtomedi starting off the year 4-0. Let's see if they can stay hot.
And kick comes in, takes a bounce. Jalen Fry overruns it. He's going to try and scoop it, and yeah, he's gonna have to down it right there at the 5-yard line.
Yeah, that was a smart move there, Sam. If he would have picked up the ball and started running, he might have lost even more yards. Great heads-up play by a great player.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit antsy there to start things off. Wanted to make a big play for this big crowd here at homecoming. But does the smart thing, falls on it. And although it's tough field position, Mahtomedi will start 1st down and 10. So it'll be 1st and 10 from their own 5. George Smith Field here on the campus of Mahtomedi. Really excited to bring you this one as it's homecoming for the Zephyrs. Anthony Pramel goes from the shotgun, got it back to his right, looks to the left, throws it, and that's number 9. Andy Boyan makes a man miss, and he's gonna have a big gain. Keeps it going past the 50, tucks it back inside from the 40, and he'll be down at the 25, getting past the 30-yard line for a huge gain to start things for the Mahtomedi Zephyrs.
Yeah, just coming out the gates with a quick pass. Number 9 just stiffs-armed the cornerback, streaks it down the sideline. Luckily, there was a great play there by the safety coming out from over the top of the field. You see it right here. Starting it off with a quick comeback route, stiff arm in the cornerback, streaking down the field for a good 40 or good 60, 65-yard gain right there. Great play to start the game if you're Mahtomedi.
Yeah, you saw the Hastings defensive back maybe respecting some of the speed from number 9, playing way off him, but good play call there from Mahtomedi to get some space, and a lot of space they gained getting into Hastings territory. So under center, Pramel hands off. That's number 1, Jalen Fry, and he's stuffed right around the line of scrimmage. Looks like he got 1 yard maybe.
Yeah, after that throw, you know, they tried to run the ball after that, but Hastings was pretty ready for it because they started out in an I formation. Hastings pretty much knew this ball was going to Jalen Fry.
And it looks like it was a gain of 2 up to the Hastings 22-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 8 for the Zephyrs. Pramel's going to go from the shotgun. Got TJ Tumbleson to his right, sends Jalen Fry in motion, hands it off to him. Fry looking for the outside edge, cuts it inside, but not much room to gain. It looks like he'll pick up 2, maybe 3 yards on that one.
Yeah, great read here by Trey Rogers. He sniffed this play out right away, stands his ground, comes up, makes the tackle. Good job by Hastings. They're stopping this run game from Mahtomedi so far.
Yeah, good stop from Hastings will bring up a 3rd and 5 from their own 19. Mahtomedi driving here, got the big play to start things off on their first one on offense. Pramel's going to go under center with an I form behind him. Jalen Fry, the deep back, and he won't hand it to him. He'll look to the left, quick hitter, and reception in. Looks like Mahtomedi will have plenty to gain for the 1st down.
Yeah, looks like a 10-yard gain right there. A nice, simple pass there to Chase Sullivan. Pramel starting off the game hot. If you could just break this tackle, they would have scored, but a great tackle there by number 86 for Hastings.
And you see him playing off the receiver again. It looks like Mahtomedi kind of noticed that coming into this one, taking advantage of it. So it'll be 1st and goal from the 7-yard line. Pramel under center. Takes the snap, looks to his right, throws quick. Doesn't find Boyan, nearly picked off. But the ball falls to the turf through the arms of the Hastings defender.
Yeah, it's Colin C right there. Number 1 almost had that interception.
A bit of an errant pass there from Anthony Pramel.
Well, he's been hot to start the game. Why wouldn't you keep feeding him?
Definitely 1st incompletion. And we'll see what Mahtomedi cooks up here for 2nd down and goal from the Hastings 7. Going from under center once again. Receiver left, receiver right. And quarterback's going to keep it. And it looks like he'll pick up a couple. And I think he's going to fall forward to the 3-yard line. So we'll have 3rd and goal from the 3.
Yeah, it looked like a little QB running back run option. Quarterback chose to keep it. Little 3-yard gain right there. It's going to be 3rd down.
So Mahtomedi quick on offense, looking to score this one fast. just over 9 minutes left to go here, first quarter. Opening drive of the ball game. Pramel under center once again, got I form behind him. Jalen Fry, the deep back. Hands it to Fry off to the left side, and Fry will walk in untouched for the touchdown.
Yeah, it just looked like just a simple run play. Defender, they just ran where the defenders were. He could have just walked right. He could have walked from the backfield into that end zone, Sam.
Yeah, Dave Mustel and his coaching staff calling up some good plays here to open things up in this one, as Jalen Fry had nobody near him. Easy score for the Zephyrs to make it a 6-0 lead. We'll see if they can tack on the extra point right here.
Yeah, as we said in the pregame, they're gonna feed Jalen Fry, let him score. Dude's having a phenomenal year this year so far.
And extra point is up, and it's good, so that'll make it 7-0. As we mentioned before, Fry has 5 touchdowns in the first 4. We'll make it 6 in his first 5. We will break. We will come back and have that ensuing kickoff for you when we return.
Alvin and the Chipmunks want to remind you bacteria can hide in food and make you ill. Wow. But you can keep bacteria from ruining your day with 4 simple steps. Clean, separate, cook, and chill. The road trip to food safety starts at foodsafety.gov.
We've all seen stories of conflict that ended with peace. We've seen stories of hunger end in abundance. We see stories of fear, despair, and poverty, but they can end with courage, hope, and love. With you. Be a part of writing a story that's greater than poverty. Learn how at worldvision.org.
There's a look at main man right there, number 1. Got the touchdown early here for Mahtomedi, giving them the 7-0 lead. We got 9 minutes left to go here in the opening quarter. But boy, that was a quick first possession for Mahtomedi, and they got on the board, huh?
Yeah, it was, Sam. We saw them sprinkling some passing plays, some running plays. Very balanced offense. They had the big passing play. Overall, a great drive, capped off by Jalen Fry. Easy touchdown run.
And nice kickoff there. Gets into the end zone. Hastings will have to take it for a touchback. It's a good job by the Mahtomedi special teams. And the Raiders will have it first down and 10 from their own 20.
And that was an absolute boot.
I like that. Absolute boot.
Absolute boot. I did not try to rhyme on that one, but that kid has a leg.
Should find out if that kicker has a nickname and if he wants absolute boot to be it. So Hastings will have it first down and 10, their first possession of this one. Going from the shotgun, sending a man in motion, got a running back to his right, pitches it out. And Mahtomedi is all over that as he'll be tackled for a loss. Looks like number 28, Ovi Mbu on the carry.
Yeah, it kind of looked like a little Brett Favre pitch forward. You'll see it right here. He just pitches it forward. Mbu right there, sniffed out right there by number 6 for Mahtomedi, Spencer Scott. What a great tackle, shutting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, great pursuit to the ball there. Good disciplined defense from the Mahtomedi Zephyrs. And that'll bring up second down and 12. From the shotgun again, looking left, passing left, and finding a receiver, but hit immediately and brought to the turf. Number 11 making the catch for Hastings. That's Nathaniel Weiss.
Yeah, you'll see right here, just a little passing play. Nothing hurts Mahtomedi too much. Number 86 right there. Liam Cashin just with a great tackle, stepping up. Let's see if they can hold him right here. If they can hold him, maybe score on the next drive. It'll be tough for Hastings to come back.
Yeah, Mahtomedi definitely wants to jump out to a big start because of the homecoming crowd. Has Hastings on a 3rd and 7. Shotgun once again. Mbu to the right. Gets the draw handoff. Makes a move. And I think he spun ahead and definitely has a first down as he gets about 3 yards past. Nice 10-yard pickup. And Hastings will have first down and 10.
Yeah, great blocking up front. He just hits the hole. You'll see he does it himself when he makes the spin. Gets those extra yards for that 10-yard run.
Ovi Embu, the leading rusher on this Hastings squad, he has 379 yards on the season and 5 touchdowns, so having a nice little year himself.
Yeah, he's averaging 4.3 yards a carry, and you know what they say, if you can average 4 yards a carry, that'll give you a first down every time.
And we'll see if Hastings sticks with things on the ground here. Jacob Brown from the shotgun got Embu to his left, fakes the handoff, looks right, and just a little bit overthrown. Looking for number 36, Jacob Brake.
Yeah, it looks like Brown just threw that one just a little too high. Either way, I think the receiver would have got demolished on that play if he would have caught it.
The incompletion makes it 2nd down and 10. Hastings on their own 33. Brown with 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Embu standing to his left, hands off. Embu on the draw inside. And maybe gets 1. As it looks like we'll have a long 3rd down and 10 for Hastings. Looks like he got 1 yard. We'll have 3rd down and 9 from their own 34.
Yeah, Sam, they need to pick this up. They cannot afford for Mahtomedi to get the ball back right now. This Mahtomedi's got a great offense, and they can run the clock out with their rushing as well.
Yeah, 2 teams that really like to run the football here. So it'll be interesting to see what Hastings has for this long 3rd down. Brown looks to his left. He's going to pass. Fires left. Pass is caught inbounds, and that's number 11, Nathaniel Weiss, bringing it down once again.
Yeah, what a great pass there by Brown and the receiver for knowing where the first down marker was. You'll see it right here. Just a simple pass to Weiss. He knows where the first down is. He gets it, makes sure he has possession of the ball, gets out of bounds real quick. Great pickup for the Hastings offense.
So Brown's going to go from the shotgun again. 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Handoff goes inside. That's Embu, and he'll take a shot. We'll pick up a nice gain.
Nathaniel Gudisso with the hit. Look at this. Embu with the nice moves, following his blocker. That blocker would have picked up the Mahtomedi defender right there. It would have been a big gain, but what a great hit there by Spencer Scott.
Yeah, nice job. First person to him, brings him down, but Embu had good space to run there, bringing up a 2nd down and 5. Hastings gets it across midfield with that play. They'll go to Embu again, and he has stood up right at the line of scrimmage, maybe lost a few, but it looks like the referees had him marked down right around the line of scrimmage.
I tell you what, Sam, it's already looked like these Mahtomedi defenders came out here to play. They're hitting hard, but you know, Hastings seems like they're up to the task.
Yeah, it looks like we have a Mahtomedi player down. I believe that is number 64. That's Tom Furminger. We will break while they attend to Furminger. We'll resume action when we get back.
You're going to need me. You're going to need us. All of us. You're going to need our help with your water, your air, your food. You're going to need our determination, our compassion. You're going to need the next generation of leaders to face the challenges the future will bring. And we promise we'll be there when you need us.
You've messed up your son's haircut. Do you try to fix it? Work with what you've got? Or show solidarity?
Thank you, baby. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
There's a look at Tom Furminger coming off the field after taking a knock. Good to see him walking off under his own power. And we will check on his status throughout this one. Going to take a couple plays off. Hastings, though, with a big 3rd down and 5 from the Mahtomedi 48. Brown to pass, throws low. And that was somehow caught by Nathaniel Weiss.
Yeah, we saw Brown go back to Nathaniel Weiss again when he needed a receiver to catch to complete the first down. It was pretty much the same play. Weiss found the first down marker, went a little past it, caught the ball. Great catch there by Weiss. Great pass.
Nice play from 86 on Mahtomedi. Liam Cashin thought he broke that one up, but somehow that ball snuck in there. So big first down pickup for Hastings as they'll go shotgun again. Handoff goes to Mbu. Mahtomedi is ready for that. Number 44, Graham DeVore, in on the stop.
Yeah, you just see here great penetration up front. Edmu had nowhere to go. Great tackle there by number 44 from Mahtomedi, Graham DeVore.
You know, that's about the third straight time Mahtomedi's had two receivers out wide to the right, one to the left, with Mbu next to quarterback Jacob Brown, and they've handed it off up the middle. I think Mahtomedi is kind of keying in on that. They switch it up, have two receivers out left, one to the right. Mbu takes the shovel pass pitch, tries to find a corner, cuts inside, and he'll gain some positive yardage. Looks like he got a couple yards past the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I tell you what, Sam, that's all Mbu right there. He had the blockers up front, but they missed they missed a defender. He gets the extra yards himself. Great play there by Mbu.
And 5-yard pickup will make it 3rd down and 8 from the Mahtomedi 37. Kind of interesting territory here in high school football if they don't pick this one up. Interesting to see what they will do if it comes to a 4th down. Brown takes the snap. He looks to throw it right. Has pressure, has to loft it up. And it'll fall incomplete.
I tell you what, Sam, Brown just threw that one up, hoping somebody would be in the area. I don't even think he saw his receiver on that side of the field.
And he almost had a chance here, but great pressure off the outside. Number 44 again. That is Graham DeVore blowing that play up and forcing the big 4th down.
Yeah, Sam, he's an awfully big defensive end. Looks like he's got great speed. We'll see if he can keep utilizing that, keeping the pressure up on Brown. Looks like they're going for it.
So big spot here for the Raiders, trailing 7-0, 4:09 left to go in the opening quarter. Two receivers right, one left. Man goes in motion. Brown to throw, steps up, throws it, but it's intercepted.
He's taking this one to the house, Sam.
Mahtomedi's going the other way.
Oh. Spoke a little too soon, but what a great read there by number 7 from Mahtomedi. Or number 3, Evan Reyes.
Yeah, great read on that play as Reyes stepped into the passing lane and took it the other way. Boy, I was right there with you. I thought he was going to pay dirt. Good job by the Hastings Raiders chasing him down and making the tackle.
Yeah, you'll see once again, Brown tries to go to his receiver, Weiss, over the middle. Reyes is just right there. I thought his speed, but luckily Brown was there for Hastings to stop him right there, making the tackle. Great play, though, by Reyes there, Sam.
Yeah, an incredibly good play, because if he doesn't make that play, I'm pretty sure Hastings is getting into the end zone. There was no other defenders behind that receiver. So Reyes stepping up in a big spot, making the pick. Yeah, Mahtomedi will take over, still leading this one 7-0.
Yeah, Reyes a little shaken up on that play. Great to see him get up after such a great read of the quarterback, picking the ball off. And once again, we saw Brown try to target his favorite wide receiver, Weiss, so far early in the game, and that's why he's their leading receiver.
Mahtomedi will have their second possession of this one. Good field position into Hastings territory after the pick. From the I form goes Pramel. Takes the snap, hands off to Jalen Fry up the middle, and Fry will get a couple.
I tell you what, Sam, Jalen Fry running behind big old number 34, TJ Tumbleson, that definitely has to help his yards per carry. That kid looks like a monster.
Oh yeah, Tumbleson can carry the rock himself a little bit. Has about 275 yards on the year, and he's got even more touchdowns than Jalen Fry.
Yeah, they sure do. They probably utilize him at the goal line. Both of them seniors. You got to imagine they have a great tandem going on between those two.
So Tumbleson in front of Fry once again. Pramel from under center. He'll pass this time looking right. He's got Andy Voyen. Voyen battling with the defensive back. And nice play from number 1. Colin C.
Yeah, that was a great pass there by Pramel. But number 1 there, C, was just great, put himself in great field position, knocking the ball away. That's what you like to see if you're a coach, the defensive backs coach.
Yeah, nice job having his head turned to the play. You see a lot of times those defensive backs don't have their head turned and get called for interference just because they don't move that head around and look like they're going for the ball. But excellent play from number 1 in white. So that brings up a 3rd down and 6. Pramel will throw again. This time he looks to Voyen on a little out route. Voyen has the catch, and I believe, yes, he does have enough for the first down.
Yeah, just past the first down marker. You see it right here, just a little out route, getting past the first down line, breaking the tackle, stiff arm. If he wouldn't have stiff armed it right there, I don't think he would have got it, but I'm sure they would have went for it, being down at the 21.
We've talked a lot about the rushing attack from Mahtomedi, but this Andy Voyen and the passing attack can do a lot of damage themselves as well.
Yeah, Andy Voyen, the leading receiver for Mahtomedi, 19 receptions on the year, 302 yards total with 4 touchdowns.
And Zephyrs hand it off inside. They'll pick up a couple. That's TJ Tumbleson.
Tell you what, if this is Hastings, they need to stop Mahtomedi right here. The defense has to come up strong, because if they don't, this could get out of hand real quick, Sam.
Oh, definitely. Hastings did look pretty good on offense there. Unfortunately, first drive ended with the pick for them, but it would be a big stop to get. We have 2nd down and 7 from the Hastings 18.
Hastings coming with the blitz. Great penetration and a great tackle.
Nice play call from the defense there on Hastings. Number 39, Alex O'Connor, sophomore linebacker, getting in there to get a tackle for loss.
I tell you what, Sam, Hastings was bringing the house on that one. They knew this ball was going to Jalen Fry, and they stopped him in the backfield. You saw the great penetration, getting into the gaps. Good play by the Hastings defense. They know they have to step up.
Yeah, it looks like Hastings is kind of coming to this one really focused on that rush attack from Mahtomedi. So we'll see if the Zephyrs try and counter that, maybe open up some things in the passing game.
Yeah, Pramel's a good quarterback, but it's high school football. You gotta shut down the run.
Pramel will go from the shotgun here on the long 3rd down and 9. He's going to look left to start, throws it left. No call as the ball falls incomplete, thrown short. Yeah, we'll see what the Zephyrs decide to do here on 4th down.
Yeah, it looks like the receivers from Mahtomedi just got a little tangled and there was nothing. They didn't know where the ball was. They didn't know where it was going. Pramel just kind of threw it in that direction and prayed.
Yeah, Jalen Fry, Andy Voyen kind of talking some things over as it looks like they got a little bit crossed up. And believe that Mahtomedi is sending out the field goal unit. See if number 10, Chase Sullivan, can boot this one through. Sullivan, a very good kicker, was the kicker for this team last year. And we saw he already had a touchback on kickoff.
This is about a 37-yard kick, Sam.
Yeah, that is no gimme in high school
38,
football.
Actually.
But boy, what an asset it is if you can have a high school kicker that can hit it from this range. Snap is down, hold is good, and the kick is up.
That's good. That is good.
And it is through for 3 as Chase Sullivan comes through for the Zephyrs, saving the drive, and they will lead it 10-0 with 1:19 left to go here in the opening quarter.
Like I said on the kickoff to start the game, what a boot.
That's right. Kid's got one heck of a boot. You're watching Friday Night Football here on TV 19. Mahtomedi leads this one 10-0.
Did you go tanning? Yeah, check it out. You're getting so tan. Finals are the worst. We need some sun. Where's your tan? It's melanoma. I'm stage 3.
Melanoma is the 2nd most common cancer for young women, 15 to 29. Protect yourself. Protect your friends. Stop tanning. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
There's a look, number 10, Chase Sullivan just knocked through the field goal, through the uprights, 37-yarder to open up the Mahtomedi lead, 10-0.
There he is again, the kid who has an absolute boot. Kicking this one out of the end zone.
Yeah, it looks like Hastings is going to let that one just go into the end zone for the touchback. I think pretty wise decision right there, John.
Yeah, I tell you what, Sam, if you have a guy who can kick, or a kicker that can kick as far as Voyer can, you can't, well, it shuts down the return game, and we all know in college or high school and even college football, kick returns are a big thing, getting great field position. They'll start at the 20.
And Hastings started from the 20 on their previous possession. Were able to drive into Mahtomedi territory. Interception ended that drive. So we'll see what the Raiders have going for them here on their second possession. Once again, starting from the 20.
I tell you what, if you're Brown, the quarterback, number 14 for Hastings, you can't get down. You had some great positives on offense in your first drive. Keep it up and try to score right here.
Handoff goes off to the left. Mbu with room, gets past one defender, and eventually is shoved out of bounds, but a nice chunk there for number 28.
Yeah, Mbu with some great yards after contact right there. He could have been down after about a 5-yard gain, turned it into about a 25-yard gain. What a great run there by Mbu. He's been their go-to guy early.
Shot on the tackle. First down, Raiders.
And there's a look at the field goal. That gives us the 10-0 scoreline. Chase Sullivan knocking that one in from 37 yards. So very impressive there by Mr. Sullivan. Jacob Brown going in the shotgun, sends Mbu in motion. Fakes the handoff that way. Bobbled the football. Ball's on the ground. And I think Hastings fell on it. As they tried a little bit of trickery there, faking it to Mbu. Handoff was attempting to go to Clay Harris, number 20, and he didn't handle it very well, but luckily for him, fell on the football.
Yeah, Hastings got a good break right there. They cannot afford another turnover, and it kind of didn't look like Harris didn't really know the ball was going to him right there. I'm sure he expected it to go to Mbu.
And we've seen that from both sides here now. A little bit of cross-up on offense. Well, that loss makes it 2nd down and 13. We got about 30 seconds here left to go opening quarter, and we'll have our first flag of the night. And we'll see what it is after that incompletion.
Looks like a little bit of illegal motion there, Sam. The wide receiver was still moving when the quarterback snapped the ball there on the closest side to us.
Illegal motion against the Raiders declined by the Zephyrs.
And that one falls incomplete as Mbu looked to turn it upfield before he had it caught. Mahtomedi does decline the penalty, so we'll stay at 3rd down and 13.
Yeah, great decision there by the coach of Mahtomedi to decline that. David Mutzel with a great decline right there. Set him up 3rd down and long.
Yeah,
you don't want to give him an extra down.
Call. I like that call.
You never want to give a team another down, especially in high school football. They've been having some good runs.
So it'll be 3rd down and 13. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left for Jacob Brown. Brown looking to the right to start, and he will be pressured and forced to the ground. Number 44, Graham DeVore does it again.
Graham DeVore just early in the game already creating pressure on the quarterback with another great sack. That right tackle right there had no answer for DeVore. DeVore just comes in, wraps the quarterback up, takes him to the ground.
You got to believe DeVore lives for downs like that. Looks to be the speed rusher from the outside, and he just gets around his blocker, and it's pretty easy from there. As DeVore picking up another big play. Yeah, I'll make it 4th down and 25.
If you're Hastings, you do not want running back Clay Harris trying to block DeVore right there. That's just a mismatch, pure and simple. DeVore's going to win that 10 times out of 10.
And looks like Hastings may have taken a time. Oh, excuse me, that's the end of the quarter. Boy, it's been going fast. So we'll take a look at the upcoming games here for Mahtomedi.
Yeah, on October 7th, they're playing a North team who's sitting in the middle of the pack of the East Metro. Big game against Park of Cottage Grove on October the 14th. Park coming off a great win, 69-32 against Tartan. That's at Park, by the way, so even more for Mahtomedi. And then they go to Simley, so if they can beat Park, it looks like they'll stay undefeated and take this one to state.
Yeah, it'll be big. If they want to at least get a share of this conference crown, they don't play South St. Paul, the other undefeated team here in the East Metro Red District. So they want at least a share, if not outright champions. They have to beat that Park of Cottage Grove team. And we take a look at those standings. You see Park of Cottage Grove did lose 1 game. That was to South St. Paul. But as I said, Mahtomedi does not play South St. Paul this year. So we might have 2 teams at the top sharing the honors undefeated if South St. Paul doesn't pick up a loss somewhere down the road.
Yeah, it's a travesty those 2 aren't playing. That would be a great game. Number 1 in 4A, number 4 in 5A. That would have been a great game.
Oh, absolutely. So Hastings forced to punt. They'll get it off. Doesn't go very far. Mahtomedi is going to stay away from it. And it'll be a big play for the Zephyrs. They'll have great field position for their 3rd possession.
I'll tell you what, Sam, that didn't look tipped at all. It looked like the quarterback just saw the punter saw the rush, and he just shanked it.
Boy, you mentioned that Park of Cottage Grove Tartan game we were at last week. A lot of spread offense, a lot of scoring. this game seems like it's just flying by. I don't know where that first quarter went, John, but with these kind of ground and pound teams, I think we're going to be in for a little bit of a quicker matchup here tonight.
Yeah, Sam, this game is just flying by. These two teams are starting out great. Just Hastings has not been able to capitalize off good field position.
So first down and 10 for Mahtomedi from the Hastings 34. Prammel's going to throw to his right. It's got Andy Voyen. Voyen does a nice job tipping it to himself, bringing in the catch, and picking up some nice yardage.
Yeah, looks like a gain of 9 there. We continue to see Prammel target Voyen right there, the kicker. Just a nice little out route, tipping it to himself, stiff-arming the defender. Great tackle there, though. But we can likely expect Prammel to continue target Voyen.
I'm going to tell you something. I saw Voyen play last year. That kid has really put in a lot of work in the offseason. He seems like an entirely different player this year. Great receiver so far this season for the Zephyrs.
Yeah, he sure has the size, Sam. I said he was the kicker. That actually is Chase Sullivan. I'm sorry.
They're going to look Voyen's way again. Throwing up for him. And I don't know if he was able to chase that one down, but it sure as heck looks like it. And we do have a flag that came in late. I think it might be a late hit.
Sure looked that way, Sam. If this goes against Mahtomedi, it's not going to be good. They're 1 yard away from the first down.
And I haven't seen the referee signal whether or not Voyen brought in the catch yet either.
Didn't really see the personal foul in this replay. Almost a great catch there by Voyen.
Yeah, it looks like he did not catch it on the far side of the field there. Wasn't quite able to see the football, but he didn't have it in his hands on that replay. As we take another look, see here right at the last minute, see the ball roll kind of by the pylon there, and Voyen a little frustrated that he wasn't able to get that one, but tough catch there.
Looks like the late hit was against Hastings, so not good. They cannot afford to go down 17-0, Sam. Especially when they can just pound the ball in with Jalen Fry from right here.
And just an update on number 64, Tom Furminger for Mahtomedi, who left the game a little bit early. Looks like he's got a sling on his right arm, ice pack on there, and looks like his return in this one is very doubtful.
Oh, you don't like to ever see that, Sam.
Prammel going to go from under center. It's bad exchange, but Prammel aware of that and falls right on it.
Very smart move. Don't try to pick it up and run, do anything. Just get on the ball. You have the lead. Can't afford a turnover.
Yeah, Prammel, the senior, definitely experienced member of this Mahtomedi team, kind of knew what to do right there, especially with your team leading 10-0. Smart play by the QB.
Exactly, but as we've seen, Mahtomedi is full of seniors, so I'm sure these guys want to make a good run, and they're doing so far this year.
Yeah, this team actually finished 5-5 in the regular season last year. Lost to North St. Paul in the section championship game, so a team that maybe didn't have the greatest regular season, but was a step away from a state tournament bid last year and looking even better, way better this year. So I think the goal for this team is definitely making it to the state tourney.
Yeah, Sam, they're going to definitely be up there for the running for the state championship in 5A. So we'll see what happens. It's very excited. Fab 5 school, we always like when they're great.
Oh, definitely.
And we'll be covering all that stuff on Sports Path.
Heck yeah, let's get us into the state tournament. Maybe get us some press passes for that new U.S. Bank Stadium.
I was there for opening game, Sam, for the Vikings. It was beautiful.
And Fry goes down, tackled in the backfield. That was 3rd down and 5, so that'll bring down a big 4th down play here. And looks like, yep, we got number 10, Chase Sullivan, coming back out, and he's going to attempt another field goal.
Yeah, this one looks like it's going to be 27 yards, so it should be a little easier for him there, Sam.
John, I was assuming that the state football tournament is at U.S. Bank Stadium because it used to be at the Metrodome. Now, because of the construction of U.S. Bank, they've held it at TCF the past few years. They might still have it there. So, well, regardless of where it is, we're hoping Mahtomedi makes it and that we can kind of tag along and reap the benefits of their success. But Chase Sullivan in to kick another field goal. Snap is good. Kick is up. But it is no good as it goes wide to the left. Looks like he just hooked it. That was a 26-yard attempt. 28-yard attempt. So no good on Chase Sullivan. Score will stay 10-0. And we are going to stay with you as Hastings will take over 1st down and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
I jinxed him, Sam. I said the 38 or the 37-yard field goal. This should be an easy one, but as we know, high school kicking is no breeze.
You know, I got to wonder there. We were talking a little U.S. Bank Stadium, a little TCF Bank Stadium. That was kind of shades of Blair Walsh in the playoffs there. Just, I think, stepped up to it a little quick and hooked it to the left.
Sam, if I was drinking water right there, you might have just made me spit it out.
So Sullivan misses the field goal, usually a very reliable kicker. We'll see if the Zephyr defense can hold things here as Hastings unable to get on the board yet tonight. Pitch goes out to Embu, and a swarm of Mahtomedi defenders brings him down.
Yeah, great job by the Hastings defense shutting down Mahtomedi right there. And unfortunately, Mahtomedi missed the field goal. Now Hastings needs to make something happen here on offense, Sam. They need to get back in this game. About 8 minutes left to go in the second quarter. They at least have to score a field goal or something to get back in this game.
Yeah, that was a 4-yard loss, so second down and 14, not the way Hastings wanted to start this drive.
Yeah, it kind of seems like Hastings are running a lot of the same plays, and Mahtomedi was ready for that one. They see the Embu sweep, and they just stopped it.
And this time, draw goes up the middle. Embu is going to make a few people miss, gets a nice block on the outside, and he'll take it for at least a first down, if not more. Eventually shoved out of bounds after a pickup of about 20.
Great run there by Embu right there, Sam. But I tell you what, if he would have known that that side of the field was wide open he was running to, you'll see him kind of stutter step. He doesn't realize how wide open the closest side of the field is to him. And then he makes his dash for it. But if he would have just started sprinting right away, I think he could have been gone, Sam. Just a little stutter step right there
sure.
will cost you.
Not used to the speed maybe of this Mahtomedi defense, been playing some lesser competition a little bit, able to kind of do things himself. Gonna have to be a little bit smarter out there here tonight. As Embu fakes the handoff inside. Brown throws to the right.
Oh, wow.
Huge hit, nice catch from number 30, Cody LaFleur. But what a hit by number 6.
Spencer Scott, again, we talked about him in the last drive. Holy cow, Sam, he demolished him. He is a bag of meat right there.
I was gonna say the 2 highlights we have, number 6, Spencer Scott from Mahtomedi here tonight, have been absolute, just huge hits. So I think that kid likes to gain a little bit of steam and make a big play. Kind of got Harry the Hitman, a little bit of Harrison Smith in his game.
Yeah, looks like he's hitting the Madden hit stick tonight, Sam.
So Embu gets a handoff inside, trying to get back to the original line of scrimmage, but I think he stopped for no gain.
I'll tell you what, though, Hastings hasn't been doing so great on those middle runs. They've kind of been doing so well on the runs in between the guard and the tackle, and they needed a bigger play right there on second down. You'll see it just stuffed. Mahtomedi has been ready for that play all game, but they haven't been able to stop is the sweeps and the runs off the tackle, but Mahtomedi was there for that one.
Yeah, you see 4 Zephyr defenders there to bring Embu down. So Jacob Brown's going to go from the shotgun. He's going to look to throw it right. He does throw it right behind the receiver, and that will fall incomplete, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, it looks like the pass was going to Jacob Brake right there. Kind of wonder if he kind of shying away from Weiss after that interception. He was targeting him the whole first drive, and they were making things happen, but hasn't really targeted him since.
So Hastings will punt for the 2nd time tonight. Didn't have a great punt first time, maybe netted 10 yards. So we'll see what happens. A lot of pressure, though, on that first punt.
There sure was, Sam.
I believe, yes, that is Jacob Brake back there to punt. This time he gets it off well. Evan Reyes back for Mahtomedi. Signals fair catch, and he will take it at the 26-yard line. So Mahtomedi leading it 10-0, 6:37 left to go, second quarter, and they will have it first down and 10 from their own 26.
Yeah, that was a nice punt right there, Sam. They really needed that one. Back Mahtomedi up, give them even worse field position. Let's see if Hastings can once again stop this Mahtomedi offense. They've been having a little bit of trouble, but they need to right here.
I formation for Pramwell as he goes under center. He's going to pitch it out to Jalen Fry, number 1. Fry doesn't have anything to the left, tries to cut back to the right, and eventually be brought down, but nice individual effort picking up 3 yards.
Sam, I think Jalen Fry was trying to bring that back in the field. If he would have ran towards the quarterback would have blocked the guy that tackled him. He could have had an even longer run. You'll see him once he runs back here. Let's see if we can get Pramel in view. Pramel was set up for a nice block if he just kept running. Fortunately, tried to cut it back in. Yeah, you saw Pramel on the corner of the screen. He was there for that block. That could have been a big gainer.
We see some of the reasons why Jalen Fry, one of the top players in the Metro there, looked like he was dead to rights out to the left and able to just stop on a dime and cut it back right to at least gain something.
Yeah, that's a typical, should I say it, Reggie Bush move?
That's right. Kid has got skills. There was a penalty on the play as Mahtomedi marches backwards. Believe they got a hold there, so that's kind of one of the things you have when you switch directions, and sometimes you open up those holds as your blockers aren't quite sure where the play's developing behind them.
Exactly, Sam. The play's just lingering.
Looked like it was originally designed as a pass. Pramel didn't have anything. He's going to tuck it and run and just get what he can.
So about a gain of 3, but Pramel displaying some great footwork right here. He kind of just makes this play happen himself for a little gain. Look at that, just coming in the pocket, coming out of there, getting hit in the hole. Nice wrap up by the defender there, number 39, Alex O'Connor. This Hastings D, this is what they needed. That penalty sure helped. They need to get the ball back and score. They just need to right now.
Yeah, Hastings has been doing a pretty good job. Allowed a big play, first play from scrimmage for Mahtomedi that really led to that opening touchdown. But other than that, they've been kind of bending but not breaking, allowing a field goal and then a missed field goal after that. Pramel will go from the shotgun. He's going to look to pass, throws it out to the left, and that's short and falls incomplete.
Yeah, nice pressure put on there. The Hastings defense creating some pressure in the pocket. You'll see it right here. Pramel, I think, felt a little rushed. Oh, yeah, he had to adjust his throwing motion. As you can tell, the pass just came a couple yards too short.
Yeah, I've been pretty impressed here with this Hastings defense after that opening drive. They've really kind of stepped things up. They have forced a big 3rd down and 13. Mahtomedi on their own 23 here.
You got to imagine that Pramel's going to go for Voyer right here.
Pramel from the shotgun, got Tumbleson with him to the right. Takes the snap, looks to throw it right, passes it out, and receiver's not ready for it, tipped up in the air, and it'll fall incomplete. And that'll bring up 4th down. Looks like Chase Sullivan was the intended receiver there.
Yeah, Noah Coleman almost with a great pickoff right there. And that was a great pass by Pramel. The receiver just wasn't ready. You know, the kicker, Chase Sullivan, hits him right in the chest right when he turns around. He was not ready for this pass, but it was right on the money. Look at that, just bounces right off. Almost picked up.
Good effort by Coolman on that one.
This is just what the Hastings defense needed. Let's see if they can get a nice return right here, or maybe even a little block of the punt. They need something to happen to go their way.
So Sullivan back to punt, does the punting duties as well. Gets the snap, and he'll get off a nice kick as it'll be fielded all the way back on the Hastings 30. Nathaniel Weiss trying to make some moves, and there he is. There's that kid again, number 6, Spencer Scott, delivering another huge blow.
Sam, I'm a grown man, and I don't think I would want to see that kid coming at me.
I was thinking the exact same thing. I was going to say, there's that man again, number 6, but I decided to cut it back because he is still in high school, albeit a senior, but boy, number 6, playing like he's had some experience out there. Playing kind of a step ahead of everyone else. Looks like we've got an injured player down on the turf.
You just see this hit right here. Nice.
Yeah, Sullivan took a block. They called it legal. Looks like they maybe got a little bit of helmets connected there. No call. Sullivan a little bit shaken up, and that may, if he's not all right, that could really shake some things up for Mahtomedi. He's really their special teams guru, kicker, punter, and a jack of all trades in the kicking game.
Sam, I tell you what, this hit was completely unnecessary right here. He was nowhere near the play. You do not want to see that, and I'm sure the Hastings coach will talk to his player after the game, or if not, right now.
So Hastings does have it, though. No penalty there. They'll take over on their own 34. Pitch goes out to Embu, and Embu's going to have to do something on his own, but can't, and he'll be tackled for a loss.
Sam, it seems to me that Hastings just keeps doing the same sequences. They do a pitch out to Embu, they run up the middle, and then they'll pass, or maybe they'll switch up those last two that I just said. But either way, if you keep doing the same thing, you got to Mahtomedi is going to be ready for it every time.
Yeah, and I understand because Embu looks to be a dynamic player, but you know, kind of relying on him to make an individual effort to really get the majority of your yardage can be tricky. They're going to pass this one. Throw is low and incomplete.
I'll tell you what, Brown looks not nearly as confident as he did on the first drive before that interception. And as I said, he couldn't let it shake his confidence. He had some great stuff going on that first drive, some great passes. And it looks like ever since he's just kind of been worried that he's going to throw an interception.
Yeah, I was going to say that interception seems to be really affecting him now. So 3rd down and 13. Good job by Mahtomedi defense on 1st and 2nd down.
I think we're going to see some streaks here by the trips left right there. Well, they got to get something. They got to get something going.
They do look left. Ball just chucked up into the air by Jacob Brown. And it'll be incomplete.
4th and 13.
Yeah, Mahtomedi, I knew that was going to be a pass all the way. Obviously 3rd and about 11, or 13, I'm sorry.
And I thought they might be playing a little mind game there, throwing the trips out to the left, maybe do an inside handoff to Embu. Maybe would have suited him a little bit better.
Yeah, they probably should have had one guy streak down the field, one guy slant out, and maybe another guy do a curl route outside past the 1st down, throw it up against the defense, but they kind of just all went to the outside of the hash marks.
Jacob Brake gets the snap. Mahtomedi does not bring pressure. And Evan Reyes with the fair catch at their own 39, where Mahtomedi will take over 1st down and 10.
I'll tell you what, Sam, Mahtomedi needs to score right here. They can't afford to keep Hastings in this game. They're kind of just letting Hastings defense is playing very well, but if Mahtomedi could put a touchdown on the board right here, the way Hastings offense has been moving the ball after this first drive, they haven't been able to. And Mahtomedi can kind of put this game away if they score before the half, a touchdown.
Yeah, big drive here for the Zephyrs. See if they can get on the scoreboard before half. 4:11 left to go here in the 2nd quarter. Jalen Fry gets the handoff, does a stutter step, but only able to gain 1, maybe 2. Looks like 2.
Yes, Hastings defense continues to impress, Sam, after that first drive. And then they held them to a field goal after Mahtomedi started on about the 30 after the interception. So this Hastings defense has stepped up, and they're keeping their team in the game right now. Let's see if they can hold them off.
Yeah, been really strong on the rush defense side of things, as Jalen Fry has really been limited. Does have the 1 touchdown, but other than that, really limited in terms of yardage.
Yeah, it's not like the Hastings has the biggest D lineman up front, but they're getting great penetration. Looked like a false start that wasn't called there,
no
Sam.
call there as Tumbleson really motioned late. Hastings bench and coaching staff really trying to make a case for something there, as it just seemed a little odd. Luckily for the Raiders, that one falls incomplete.
Yeah, Noah Coleman once again with the great defensive reads, knocking the ball down. Been very impressed with him on the cornerback so far.
So with that incompletion, stops the clock at 3 minutes, 30 seconds left to go here, 2nd quarter. Bramble goes from under center, I form behind him. He'll look to pass, though, to his right, and that one's thrown behind Andy Voyan, the intended receiver, and that'll be 4th down and 7. And it looks like Mahtomedi will punt it away. And number 10, Chase Sullivan, is all right, and he'll be back there to boot it away.
Yeah, it looked like the quarterback knew he was going for Voyan the whole way right there, but there was nothing there, and he just threw it way behind him.
And it looks like both teams really started off strong with the passing game, and since then it's been less than desirable, we'll say.
Yeah, nobody's really getting in their rhythm anymore. They kind of broke it.
So Sullivan back for the punt, gets it. He'll roll to the right, kind of punch a little pooch kick, trying to maybe see if it knocks off a Hastings player. And looks like it just avoided the gunner there near side, as it eventually was down by Mahtomedi, but that one was awful close.
Sam, that's something you see all the time in college, the little Aussie kick right there, the little rugby style kick, and it works a lot in college too because you get the bounce and the roll. The returner does not want to pick that ball up because there's always a chance he could fumble. Great punt right there by who was injured player, Chase Sullivan. It's nice to see him get back in the game and make a great punt.
Yeah, and those kicks really make it difficult on those guys trying to block upfield for the returning team, as they kind of have their backs to the play. Nearly hit off a Hastings player. Does not, though. And they'll have it first down and 10. Handoff goes to Mbu. Gets hit. Stays on his feet. But he is going to have to go down. Does. Just outside the goal line. Great defensive play from Mahtomedi.
Yeah, Mbu just tried to do a little too much right there. He's got to realize where he is. He's near the goal line. It easily could have been a safety. But nice penetration there by number 32 for Mahtomedi. That would be Adam Olsen. And Mbu just tries to do too much down at the 1.
Well, I got to tell you, good penetration from Olsen there, but I guarantee his coaching staff's going to tell him, hey, we need to wrap up there. You know, don't just give him the shoulder charge, because you see what can happen. Mbu stayed on his feet. Wasn't able to gain anything there, but may be able to kind of get something off a play like that in the future.
Yeah, if you're Hastings right here, calling the timeout, but Hastings just needs to, they do have 3 timeouts, well now 2. Well, actually that was a Zephyr timeout, but Hastings just needs to get the ball away from the 1-yard line, run this out a little bit.
Well, hey, we want to take the time now to remind you about our social media. Please feel free to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. If you're ever trying to catch up on any of the games we broadcast, often post links to those on our Facebook page, as well as exclusive content on Twitter. So like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, so you can keep up with all your East Metro action here in this area.
Yeah, games are also uploaded to YouTube. Those get a lot of views as well.
Yeah, we'll definitely have links to those through our Facebook page. And that is facebook.com/TV9Sports. Of course, Twitter @TV19Sports. Love to see some shots from homecoming here, as we got a great crowd on hand. Seems like the entire community of Mahtomedi is here at George Smith Field tonight.
Yeah, Mahtomedi is bringing the house right here, Sam. Oh, great run there by Mbu just to create some yards, get him away from the goal line.
I think that was a wise choice there by Hastings. Might not be pretty, but they're going to have to prove they can gain a couple yardage and get some space backed up against their own goal line.
Yeah, Zephyrs with another timeout. They want the ball back. They want to score. If you got to think that the Raiders can punt the ball out of the end zone. Mahtomedi is going to get pretty good field position around the 40, maybe even the 30. Dangerous area for Hastings.
Oh, yeah, I love that call, getting that timeout, especially with how things have been going here so far tonight. Well, with that timeout, of course, want to remind you that we always need volunteers here at TV19 Sports. If you love or have any interest in running cameras, being behind the scenes, running graphics, even running the little replays that we bring to you, we can always use your help. And if you have any interest in that, you can please contact Arlen Becker at the contact information you see on the screen. Let them know you're into it, and we will get you involved. And couldn't do what we do without the work of all our volunteers. And as always, great job tonight, as always. So big 3rd down and 15 from their own 5. And we'll have a flag.
Looks like a little encroachment there, Sam.
Oh, encroachment. I thought a pre-snap penalty was going to be against Hastings, but you are right, as a referee is going to march the ball 5 yards forward. And that could be big, as it's now 3rd down and 10 from the Hastings 10.
Yeah, big. Creating some space from the end zone there for Hastings. That is not what Mahtomedi wanted, because if Hastings would have tried to pass right there, they easily could have maybe had the sack. We've seen number 44 for Mahtomedi continually to get pressure there. Graham DeVore. We'll see what happens right here.
Handoff goes to Mbu inside, and nice play call from Hastings. It looked like they tried to counteract that speed rush from DeVore, go right to his side, and Mbu able to speed forward to pick up the first down.
Yeah, you can see the Mahtomedi defense is kind of expecting pass. Great blocking up front, great hole in the middle. Mbu just takes it all himself, gets a little yards in there. You got to imagine, if you're Hastings, I don't know why you wouldn't run, why you're not trying to hurry up this offense, go down the field, at least try to go for a field goal right here. You need the points. You had the timeouts. Why not?
Yeah, big pickup there with Mahtomedi spending a couple turnovers trying to get the ball back. Excuse me, spending a couple timeouts to try and get the ball back. Pitch outside to Mbu again. And he'll pick up a couple after a tough fight for a few yards.
Yeah, it looks like Jacob Brown's trying to get his team to hurry it up, but they're going way too slow right now, Sam. They need to go quicker. They need to go quicker. I don't know why when you're down by this much, you have 3 timeouts with 2 minutes left, but you gotta utilize the time you have on the clock. Little pitches are not gonna help. I know they're trying to catch Mahtomedi off guard while they are in like a passing defense, but that's not gonna work, Sam.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying some form of hurry up as everyone's checking their forearm to see what the play is. Didn't probably get it off as quickly as they would have liked, but hey, it's successful as another first down strike. Jacob Brown finds number 36, Jacob Brake, for a big first down.
Yeah, he's been targeting him on the last couple passing plays. Finally gets one to be completed. Timeout there by Hastings, but I tell you what, their hurry-up offense needs to go a lot quicker because on that last play, they wasted about 35 seconds. Actually, they did not call a timeout, so their clock's continuing to tick.
Yeah, and you know, we said they got 3 in the bank, so not sure what the strategy is here. Maybe just trying to play a little mind game with Mahtomedi. Catch him off balance a little bit as that one goes deep, and I believe it's picked off.
It's picked off there, Sam. That was an awful pass by Jacob Brown. He did not even know. His wide receiver wasn't even near the sideline. I don't know where that was going. Nonetheless, great interception there by number 27, Justin Maroney. As you can see, he just drops back. He knew he was throwing to the whole time, but he airs it out. A little pressure there by Mahtomedi, but the Hastings receivers got to do more to find the ball up in the air right there. That was Nathaniel Weiss. That's very weird to see because he seemed like he had great awareness there on the first drive that Hastings had, but he didn't know where the ball was right there.
Boy, that one's awful close too. I'd like to be able to take another look as 27, Justin Maroney, real close to being out of bounds on that interception. You know, we were just talking about Hastings probably should have taken a timeout. They were maybe trying to catch Mahtomedi off guard there a little bit, but Mahtomedi was ready for that one, and the turnover kind of ruins a good drive that Hastings is putting together.
Yeah, I get what they were trying to do, but you got to create a lot better play than that. You got to get wide receivers open somehow. You got the timeouts, throw it in the middle of the field.
Pramwell goes deep, just out of the reach of Voyant. Again, you got to imagine if Hastings took a timeout there. I would take a timeout there, you know, right around midfield, maybe get a long pass, a big play called up there out of the timeout, maybe go for the home run then. Just can be tough doing the hurry-up thing, and we saw the result there as they turned the ball over.
Yeah, we saw Brown have a lot of success over the middle of the field, and he hasn't been very good at throwing the ball on the outside of the hash mark, so I don't know why you wouldn't target the middle of the field with 3 timeouts where you've been killing them in the whole game.
I mean, that's the other thing. Yeah, you don't need the big gain to the outside with 3 timeouts. You know, you can get it to the middle of the field because you can stop the clock yourself. Well, Jalen Fry will take the ball. He'll pick up the first down.
Just some weird play calling there, Sam. I tell you what, I think me and you are on the same page and what we would like them to see.
Now Mahtomedi forced to hurry things up quick out to Voyant. Flag comes in. And clock will continue to run. Well, it'll stop with the penalty. So we'll see what the referees are deciding.
Looks like this might be a defensive penalty. Oh, I think it's too many men on the field.
They're going to redo first down after the penalty. Yeah, either an illegal substitution or too many men out there. Didn't see anybody really subbing in late. Although I wasn't paying too much attention to that. Regardless, it will be a penalty. Mahtomedi will have to bring it back 5 yards. It'll be first down and 15, 24 seconds left to go in the opening half. Pramwell from the shotgun, gonna look to his right. Got Voyant out there on the out route. Voyant's gonna have to dive for it, so he'll be down. And I think Mahtomedi will take a timeout right away.
Yeah, I tell you what, Sam, they gotta start now. They're out of timeouts. They gotta start throwing the ball to the outside more. I see they tried to do that right there. Voyant would have just caught this pass, sprinted out of bounds. Unfortunately, the pass was just a little too low. He had to dive for it. Or else I thought it would have been a pretty successful play.
Yeah, nice catch there by Voyant on the difficult throw. That was a pretty nice highlight. And speaking of highlights, we'll have all of those. We'll have your standings, you'll have your statistics, and everything else on Sports Path. We do that every other Wednesday live at 7 p.m. And that is here on location, TV 19 Sports, with both John and myself. Looking forward to the next episode as we'll have highlights from this game as well as all the other games we cover since our last episode.
Yeah, great production crew for that whole thing. Just a good time. Watch it.
You got to say, John, it's been nice having you around in the studio with me, taking a lot of pressure off hosting the dang thing myself.
Yeah, we create a lot of funny jokes in there. We have some fun.
Pramel will throw again to Voyen. Voyen will get out here. Nice play call. Takes only about 5 seconds off the clock, a little bit less. It'll be 12.7 seconds left to go in the half. Mahtomedi 1st and 10 from the Hastings 40.
Yeah, as we talked about, they're going to keep doing out routes to the outside, trying to get out of bounds, gain a couple more yards. There's about 12 seconds left. I think they have time for one more play. If they can get about 10, 15 more yards, they might be in field goal range.
That's a good call. You know, we talked about Chase Sullivan being a very good high school kicker, so that might be the plan here, is just get into range for number 10. Pramel looks right again, trying a similar play. This time not going to Voyen, looking for number 33, Mitch Bradley, and just a little out of reach.
I tell you what, Sam, this Hastings defense has definitely stepped up since the first 5 minutes of the game. They've played absolutely impressive. They don't even have the biggest guys out there. They have a bunch of athletic-looking kids, and they're doing a great job.
Yeah, playing good team defense.
Yeah, it seems to
Discipline.
me there's not one player that stands out to me, but everyone's all over the field. They're in their position when they need to be.
So 9 seconds. Interesting to see what Mahtomedi does here. They look to the right. Great job. Batted down at the line. Number 85 in white, Josh Miser, making a huge play for Hastings.
I'm going to guess they're just going to do a Hail Mary right here, Sam. Why not? You've been trying to score some points. What do you have to lose? You have some great athletic players. The ball gets picked off. No harm, no foul. I'm sure your guys will be there for the tackle.
I was going to say they're sending number 10, Chase Sullivan, out there. He is the kicker, but also listed as a wide receiver. Pretty sure they're going to have him as a wide receiver here as Anthony Pramel, quarterback, number 7, still in the game.
He's got the arm to do it, Sam. I think we're going to see it.
Not going to lie, I was kind of hoping Mahtomedi would test out a 57-yard field goal, see if the kid could do it, but I think they're making a smarter choice here.
Yeah, they got Tumbleson there, creating some extra blocking. They're going to need all the time they can.
Yeah, got all their athletes out to the left. Pramel rolls to the left, ball up in the air, and picked off in the end zone.
See, Sam, no harm, no foul. Why not try it?
Yeah, and that will be the last play of your opening half. Mahtomedi started this one out hot with a touchdown on their opening possession. Got a field goal a little bit later to lead this one 10-0. We will have that second half for you when we get back. Mahtomedi leads it 10-0. This is Friday Night Football on TV 19.
Today, a new creature walks among us, terrorizing innocent citizens. Until this threat can be contained, we must all be on the lookout for the dreaded digital deadwalkers.
Dude!
They're not looking out for you.
Engage!
A public service safety message from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons, who want to keep everyone well connected with strong, healthy bones.
Most party fouls? Not a big deal. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
Drownings are a leading cause of death for young children. Simple safety steps are the best way to prevent these tragedies. Make sure kids learn how to swim. Always watch them in and around water. Properly fence all pools and stay away from drains. Consider the steps you take, then add a few more. Because you never know which pool safety step will save a life until it does. Simple steps save lives. To learn some new ones, visit poolsafely.gov.
Welcome back to Friday Night Football here on TV 19 Sports. It's homecoming at Mahtomedi, and the Zephyrs lead at 10-0. Trying to get a look at Jalen Fry, number 1. He's got the lone touchdown, and this one came real early. As you see, walked in untouched, but kind of a storyline from that first half is besides that touchdown, Jalen Fry's kind of been kept in check by the Hastings defense.
Yeah, I tell you what, Sam, Mahtomedi started the game really hot. They went up 10-0. Jalen Fry scored a touchdown. They had a 37-yard field goal, but after that, the defenses for both these teams were just absolutely shutting the other team's offenses down. Great job by Hastings to shut Jalen Fry down. It seems to me that they know that Mahtomedi is going to come out running. They really can't do anything else. They're forcing them to pass, and that's why the game is 10-0, and they kept themselves in this game.
Yeah, there's a look at Chase Sullivan, kicker for Mahtomedi. Made one from 37, but missed from 28. And that lone field goal made it a 10-0 game, and that is where it stands here to start off the third quarter. And there is the kickoff to get the second half underway. And it's going to be fielded at about the 5-yard line. And got a little bit of room to run. And Hastings is going to start off with decent field position here out to about the 35, 36-yard line. Nice return from number 20, Clay Harris.
Yeah, they need to take advantage of this great field position right here, sustain a drive, keep the ball out of the hands of Jalen Fry, put some points on the board. They need this right now because this Mahtomedi defense has been unstoppable. Number 20 for Hastings right here, Clay Harris kind of did it all himself. You know, he just keeps those legs churning and picks up those extra yards, gets his team a nice field position at the 36.
Yeah, and some nice upfield blocking from the Raiders as well. Raiders in white jerseys, yellow pants, Mahtomedi in all blue. Of course, the Zephyrs undefeated here in East Metro Red District play. Jacob Brown pump fakes, goes deep, and way overshoots the receiver, but it falls incomplete. That'll bring up second down and 10.
Yeah, not a bad call from Hastings right there to just start off with the bomb, try to catch Mahtomedi napping a little bit maybe to start the third half, but either way, Jacob Brown continues to be out of sync with his wide receivers, especially on the outside passes. They had success. We talked about this at halftime in the over the middle. They got to stop attacking the outside because there's no communication there.
Well, after the incompletion, brings up second down and 10. Jacob Brown going to go from the shotgun. Two receivers left, one right, and he will hand it off to Mbu. And I'm telling you, I knew that was coming. It looks like Mahtomedi did as well.
Sam, they've been running the same 3 plays the whole game. They'll do a sweep out to Mbu, up the middle to Mbu, and a pass on the outside, and that's about it. Right there, Mahtomedi just knew what was coming.
And the thing with that inside handoff, I've really noticed it just by noticing the receiver sets. 2 on one side, 1 on the other. You know, they do want to do that spread, but kind of anytime you see that receiver set, they seem to hand it off. Now they're going to do it here. Be surprised if they do hand it off on this one, though.
No, I think they're going to throw it a little deep, Sam. Maybe go over the middle.
Brown back to pass, looks right, does a screenplay to Mbu, and he bounces off a tackle. Ball's on the turf, and looks like Mahtomedi might have it. And I think Hastings actually ended up falling on it, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Very close play there for Hastings. Mbu just trying to get those extra yards right here. Nice hit there, once again by number 6, Spencer Scott, laying a little bit of wood right there.
Boy, it looks like the Mahtomedi defender just ran past, and I think Mbu able to kind of wrestle it back for his team at the bottom of the pile.
I tell you what, that Spencer Scott, he's coming at these receivers and these running backs like a hammer going after a nail on wood.
Oh, and the snap way above the punter break. Break is gonna have to go down, and I think that was going to have to be the play no matter what. He tried to make something of it, but I think the wise thing is just to go down. Unfortunate there for Hastings as they were trying to punt it away.
You'll see just a snap a little bit too high. I think he was going to try to punt it if he could have got it up, but his knee barely touched the ground, I think. Either way, Mahtomedi, they were getting amped up during halftime. I'm going to be very surprised if they don't score a touchdown right here, Sam.
Yeah, that could be a killer there for Hastings as Mahtomedi is going to take over on the Raider 11.
They can see the Hastings sideline looks absolutely deflated. Players with their hands on their face masks, not looking too happy.
Oh, and the ball's on the ground now for Mahtomedi, and it looks like Hastings might have it.
Hastings got it. Hastings got it.
Sloppy football here to start the second half. I was just going to get into how Hastings, you know, if you erase kind of the big plays from the start of both halves, they would be right in this one. Well, they'd make a big play themselves.
They needed that, Sam. They needed that to happen. Now they need to score. You see this little snap right here?
And that's the second time we've seen Pramel under center and the exchange just kind of go wrong. First time he was able to fall on it, that time goes to Hastings. So Mahtomedi kind of letting the Raiders hang around here a little bit.
Sure, that's not the way they wanted to start off there on offense, but their defense has been very solid this game. They can hold them right here. I think Hastings is going to come out throwing. They need to attack the middle of the field.
We saw a near turnover there, first possession for Hastings. And we'll see what they do here to start things off. Going from their own 14, handoff goes inside on the delay. And ball comes out again, and I think Mahtomedi has this one.
Holy cow, Sam. 3 plays, 3 turnovers. You've got to be kidding me.
Huge play from Mahtomedi to get the ball right back, and the sloppy play continues to start the second half.
Yeah, it looks like Mbu just took the handoff right away. He just gets hit at behind the line of scrimmage. I tell you what, Sam, I knew that play was coming again. Right up the middle. They've had success running off the tackle or in between the guard and the tackle. They're not having success running between the center and the guard.
Yeah, kind of like they do that inside handoff. Hope Mbu can do something. TJ Tumbleson gets the handoff, almost stolen away as great penetration from the Hastings defense.
The Hastings defense continues to impress me very much, Sam. Same with Mahtomedi. These are 2 great defensive teams. Makes me wonder how good that South St. Paul team is. Ranked number 1 in Class 4A, absolutely demolishing this Hastings defense last week to win 26-0. And
yeah, real unfortunate that South St. Paul and Mahtomedi are not going to meet in the regular season, might meet in the playoffs. So look forward to that matchup as they're 2 really good teams. Both teams, of course, undefeated here in the East Metro Red District.
South St. Paul number 1 in Class 4A, as we said earlier.
Jalen Fry spins off a tackle, gets a little bit more, but he will be shy of the end zone.
Looks like it's 3rd and goal now. 3rd and about 2 yards away from the goal line. You can see right here, he just gets the handoff. Defense there with a nice wrap up. You got a nice low tackle, keep him out of the end zone. If you're this Hastings defensive coordinator, you got to be really happy with how your guys have played, especially against the number 4 team in Class 5A.
Absolutely. Big 3rd down and 2. Handoff Tumbleson.
He's in there.
See where they mark him. Looks like they were marking him short to start. Gonna kind of see where the ball is. No signal yet, and there it is. Touchdown, Tumbleson.
It looks like he was able to reach the ball over there, Sam. Tumbleson, as you said, the leading touchdown scorer, or rusher and scorer for this Mahtomedi team. That gives him his 7th touchdown of the year.
Yeah, we saw Jalen Fry get number 6 to start off the game. Tumbleson now with number 7.
Tumbleson, the Mike Allstott of the Mahtomedi offense.
Oh, it's no wonder they give it to him on the goal line. Kid is a load to deal with.
Yeah, he's a big boy down there. He's got the neck brace.
Kick is up and good.
Tell you what, he looks like an offensive lineman. Call him a little mini fridge.
That's right. TJ Tumbleson gets the touchdown. Mahtomedi leads 17-0. It's Friday Night Football here on TV 19 Sports.
Take a good look at yourself. Oh, yeah. Check that smooth backside. No, really, check it. If you're a man over 50, you're in the group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma. When detected early, skin cancer is highly treatable. Check yourself out and find someone else to help. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you? Gary, financial aid forms, biology homework, G. Picking a college, man. You and us go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos.
There's a look at number 10, Chase Sullivan, getting ready to kick things off after Mahtomedi got their 2nd touchdown of the game, first of the second half, and now lead 17-0.
Yeah, we saw some sloppy football with 3 turnovers and 3 plays to start the second half, Sam. Mahtomedi able to punch it in with TJ Tomlinson for his 7th touchdown of the year. Some sloppy football, but Mahtomedi's got the 17-0 lead now.
And kick is up fielded about the 2-yard line. Harris is going to try and make something happen with this one again, and does a nice job getting it out to about the 28-yard line. That is number 20, Clay Harris.
Tell you what, number 33, Mitch Bradley from Mahtomedi, came down that field like a truck. Unfortunately, he didn't make the tackle. But I don't know if you'll see this, but he decked one of the Hastings players right there.
Yeah, pretty sure he's one of those bodies you saw flying off the screen.
He wanted that tackle.
Please return to the press box. An iPhone 6 black and gray case. Please return it to the press box.
So Hastings first down and 10. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, back behind, not Mbu. Clay Harris will get the pitch. He'll miss a tackle and then fall forward for a couple of yards.
Sam, if you're the Hastings coach right now, you got to realize that Mahtomedi pulled their safeties up. If they see that, they got to throw the ball. There was no pressure there. They weren't coming with the blitz. They just knew that Hastings was going to run it. So they have to throw the ball in order to get back in this game.
Yeah, it looks like Ovi Mbu not out there, number 28 for Hastings right now. Not sure if they're maybe sitting him down because of the fumble he had their last possession. 2 fumbles. So Clay Harris in there right now, number 20. Got the action on first down. They're going to throw here on second down. Complete. And Weiss has it. He fumbles. And Mahtomedi looks like he has the recovery. And I think the referees are going to call that a catch and fumble. Not sure if Weiss had complete control of it, but he looks a little frustrated with himself. So I think the referees maybe got this one right.
I think he did, Sam. He caught it, both hands on the ball, turns and runs, hits it out with his own knee. Hastings cannot afford that. They had success targeting the middle of the field, Sam. They need to keep doing that next time they get the ball. But that's three fumbles here now for Hastings to start the second half. Very sloppy. Whatever they said at halftime is not working.
Yeah, and what was going to be an uphill battle anyway has become almost a mountain to climb after the turnovers. And you saw on that replay, Weiss just not securing the football.
He just kneed it out.
Yeah, I was going to say, and as he said, I'm pretty sure that he hit it with his own knee. He needs to get that ball tucked into his body.
He kind of let it out a little bit. Looks like he was trying to crawl. You know, he was almost towards the ground, kept himself up, and just kneed the ball right out of there.
That's kind of why I thought he maybe didn't. He was, still bobbling the ball. The ball was so far off his body.
No, he had a nice catch. That's very unfortunate.
So that is the 3rd fumble already here in the second half for Hastings. Fortunately for them, Mahtomedi fumbled it once to give it back to him, but the Zephyrs have scored a touchdown and are going to be driving in Hastings territory to start things off in this possession.
I think we're going to get another illegal motion here, Sam. We got some laundry on the field.
TJ tumbles it. He does lose the ball eventually out of bounds, but man, that kid was getting some extra yardage in the tough yards.
Yeah, it was crazy to see Tumbleson get knocked around like that, but Josh Meisner, number 85 there for Hastings, just comes out of nowhere and smacks him, causing the fumble. If he was a little more in bounds, that was very dangerous. Yeah, that was a legal procedure for the Zephyrs. As I said, laundry on the field, but great pass there. Great catch by Tumbleson. Like I said, he got smacked there right at the end.
I'll count that as a fumble. That'll be number 5 in terms of fumbles here between both teams. And we have only ticked off. We haven't even done 5 minutes here in the second half.
I think these teams will be doing some loose ball drills here, Sam, the next week.
I think, yeah, post-game speeches on both sides is going to be a little bit about ball security. Mahtomedi will keep it, though, after the penalty. 2nd down and 11 because of the lost yardage.
Going for Voyen again. There he is.
Voyen makes the catch. Nice job by Hastings swarming to the tackle, getting him right away. And it looks like he picked up 4, maybe 5.
Yeah, Voyen really seems to be that guy there for Pramel. You'll see they keep running the same routes with him. Throws a little out route to Voyen. Voyen's right there.
Looks like that's a replay of Tumbleson. But similar route run. As that's kind of something they like to do there, that quick out, kind of a high percentage throw here for your high school quarterback. And Voyen's a big kid, so I'm sure he can make a lot of people miss once he gets that football.
He's a truck. Look at that block he just threw. Oh, my Lord.
And, well, the play goes to the other side. Jalen Fry is going to have it easy. And now you can see why he's one of the top rushers in the Metro.
Sam, I'm going to tell you this right now. That wasn't all Jalen Fry. That was Tumbleson. Absolutely knocked his man there to create this gap. You'll see it on this replay once we pull it up. Fry utilizing the great speed in the open hole. But Tumbleson, you'll see right here, just absolutely lays this guy out. Look at that block. Holy cow. Takes this one to the house. Great blocking up front by number 10, Chase Sullivan. Great blocking all around there, setting up Jalen Fry. For Jalen Fry, how do you not score on that with a great block?
Absolutely. I think that's one they're going to want to replay a few times in the film room as how to execute, as Tumbleson, as you mentioned, just opening that hole wide, and Jalen Fry knows what to do after that.
Sam, he just laid that kid out, pure and simple. Great block. False start there.
You gotta love 34 TJ Tumbleson, man. That's an old school style football player right there.
Told you a little Mike Allstott a little bit, kind of Mike Allstott in the fridge, packaged all in one.
And I like you giving him credit too, because you know a lot of people see Fry making the run, but you know, yeah, as you said, football, ultimate team game. Wouldn't have had that run had it not been for the work of number 34.
I'll tell you what, if they had little stickers they put on their helmet like college football, Tumbleson would have probably got a giant one right there.
Yeah, can we give him a TV19 pride sticker?
Maybe he could be our TV19 Athlete of the Week here in the next couple weeks.
That's right. Well, the extra point is good, and that opens up things for Mahtomedi. They lead 24-0. It's Friday Night Football homecoming at Mahtomedi here on TV19 Sports.
It's the most natural thing for me to dance, but I was tripping and I was falling and didn't even know what multiple sclerosis was.
When I perform, I really love connecting with people. It's definitely cool to be able to give someone an experience through virtual reality.
Oh my God. I dream sometimes and I see that.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Welcome back. Mahtomedi's added to their lead. Second touchdown here in the second half. It's 24-0 now. And we got 6:12 left to go third quarter.
Yeah, Mahtomedi's really pulling away with this one, Sam. Capping their last drive off with the Jalen Fry touchdown as we set up. TJ Tumbleson with the great block there to open up the hole. Mahtomedi just running away with this bad boy.
And Chase Sullivan really gets into that one. Chase, the absolute boot Sullivan with another touchback. Nice job, young man. And Hastings will take over on their own 20.
I think we just gave this kid a new nickname today, Sam. The absolute boot.
I'll say that is impressive for a high school kid. You do not often see that able not only to get it to the end zone, but knock it 6-7 yards deep. So kind of an all Mahtomedi here in second half after a few sloppy plays to start this one off. Both teams trading fumbles, and Mahtomedi is taking advantage now with two scores, opening up their 10-0 halftime lead to a 24-0 lead midway through third quarter.
Let's see if they got to target the middle of the field. They had success besides that fumble, Sam. They need to just keep going after it. But I'm not surprised at this right here.
Hastings with the handoff to Imbu, who picks up a couple.
Sam, I get they're trying to keep Mahtomedi's defense, you know, coming up for the run so they can open up for some passes, but it's not working. Time to abandon it. You're down. Score some points.
And it looks like they're trying to get a lot of offense through Ovi Imbu. I mean, very talented player, a lot of skill there, but he can only do so much. You know, has the ability to make players miss, but Mahtomedi is doing such a great job kind of getting there together with a couple people and really making some plays.
See, Sam, that's a play that's worked once every 3 times it's been ran for Hastings, but at least it's one of the ones that worked. I'm kind of like weirded out how they abandoned the run off the tackle that's been working all the time. They kind of haven't run it ever since.
Yeah, the thing is, I mean, really run 2-3 plays as the majority of their plays, kind of continuing to go back to that, which makes things easy, you know, preparing for a team, you know, on the Mahtomedi side, knowing that they really run a lot of these same plays. Now, you can kind of throw a defense off when you mix it in together, you know, kind of throw different looks, even though you're running the same play. The pre-snap might look a little bit different, but Mahtomedi definitely done a great job kind of knowing what's coming. And you can tell as they've shut out Hastings to this point in the game.
Yeah, you know, they run the spread option, but they don't option it. It's always just the handoff to the running back. If the quarterback ran it a little more, maybe the running back would have a little more success. Quarterback's just giving it off. I don't know if that's the quarterback's read or if that's just the play itself, but it's not working. You got to keep the defense guessing. See, there we go.
There's a little bit of option. Doesn't work out very well, but
good.
Weiss gets open and makes the catch, and he'll have plenty for the first down. As great job from Jacob Brown to find Nathaniel Weiss. And that'll be first down for Hastings. Weiss with a few receptions in this game.
I feel like Brown really needed that. On that first drive, he looked absolutely amazing, completing passes right and left. You'll see this. The rush is on from the backside or the front side right there. Strolls out, just throws it. Wide open there for Weiss.
Athletic play from Jacob Brown, not only to get that throw off, but to complete it as well.
I really think he needed that one for his confidence. Now let's get the ball rolling, try to get your team back in this game. I know there's only about 20 minutes left, but you got to get something going.
And Hastings will go to the shovel pitch again, goes outside. And Embu does a good job picking up a few. And it looks like the ball will be right at midfield for second down.
They really love that shovel pass there. They keep utilizing it. Every time it happens, I'm afraid that Mahtomedi is going to do something with it. You'll see that. It's a pass. That's definitely a pass.
I think the idea there is just get Embu, number 28, out into space so he can kind of make some moves, make some plays on his own. Seems to be sort of their offensive strategies. He's really their dynamic weapon on offense.
Yeah, he's their whole team, Sam.
Brown goes out to Weiss on the outside. Weiss spins, and he'll have the first down. So nice quick hitter from Hastings to pick up a first.
First down, Raiders.
I like that play call there.
Raiders are getting a little momentum. Let's just build on top of it. I really think they need to hurry it up right here. Keep this Mahtomedi defense guessing. Score as fast as you can. Get yourself back within 17. See what happens. But they just seem to be very adamant in letting the clock tick down.
Hastings shovels it out to the left again. Here Embu's got some room, and he runs over a man, but the tackle is made. Andrew Pramel able to bring down the receiver after taking a shot. And that'll be a first down again for Hastings as they're on the move.
Do you have a little sibling, cousin, something going on there? The
Well, I'm
Pramels?
thinking so. Andrew Pramel, a junior, Anthony, the senior.
Great blocking up front by Hastings right there. Just pulling out, creating some space there. Nice little run there by Embu.
I got a little ahead of myself. Embu did not pick up the first. It's going to be second down and 1.
Yeah, he picked it up.
And they'll go inside to Embu again. I think he might have had it there.
He's right. Ooh, that's going to be awful close.
And not sure if they'll bring the chains out. Looks like referees are signaling third down as he's about half yard short.
3rd and 1.
Yeah, Sam, I really feel like their offense would have more success if the quarterback took the option on the ball sometimes and ran it out. But I'm guessing that's just not how their offense works. I'm guessing it's just the play is a designed handoff.
Yeah, it seems like the more they've moved it down the field, the more wrinkles they've kind of thrown in there, which, you know, it's interesting, you know, because it means they have these plays, but, you know, they kind of stick with their select plays to kind of get things moving, and then once they kind of have the defense reeling a little bit, then they throw in some wrinkles, which I can kind of see the strategy there.
It's working so far, but I think that's 4th down, Sam. They didn't even gain. They gained about half a yard right here.
Oh, I thought Embu for sure got that one.
Nope.
But you are right. He is short. 4th down and 1.
Great penetration there by Eric Bjork, the sophomore. I called his name a couple times tonight.
About a minute and a half left to go here. 3rd quarter. Hastings on the move. 4th down and 1 from the Mahtomedi 33.
Big play here for the Hastings offense. Let's see what they can do.
Mahtomedi bring the pressure. Handoff goes to Embu anyway, and he will have it after a few stutters. And looks like a pickup of 3 down to the 30.
All right, Sam, they need to get this. They need to get rolling. It's about to be the 4th quarter. they want to have any chance to come back, they got to score within the next 30 seconds or so if they want to keep themselves in this game. Because I tell you what, that Mahtomedi offense, the way they've been running the ball, the great blocking by the fullback Tumbleson, the running by Jalen Fry so far, they're just going to run out the clock.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Hastings takes the shot downfield right here on first down from the 30.
Yeah, they got 3 wide receivers.
They fake the pitch out. Now they go to the seam. Intercepted. That's number 3, Evan Reyes. And he gets tripped up. Otherwise, he was going to have a big return.
Sam, does that remind you of a play?
I think it does. I was going to say, that is Reyes' second pick of the game.
Look at this. He just reads the quarterback once again. It's the same route. I think if the wide receiver would have cut in just a little bit, that would have been a good, nice 20-yard pickup, but it was the same exact play as the first one. Reyes with a great read. I really feel like if they would have slanted in the middle right there, it would have worked. There was plenty of open room. No need for him to run a straight route right there, a little out or up and hook. It just didn't work.
And turnovers proving very costly for the Raiders in the second half, as that is now their 4th turnover here in the second half.
They definitely will be doing some ball drills this week, Sam.
Actually, it might be their 3rd turnover. I believe they fumbled 3 times, did recover once.
Yeah, they fumbled 4, turnover 3. Yeah, not good.
Yeah,
not
nice
good.
job by Reyes. I was going to say, I don't think quarterback Jacob Brown, the receiver, were quite on the same page there. It looks like he was kind of throwing that slant. May have been misthrown, but
that's a false start right there by the right guard there, number 65. That would be Adam DeVore. I wonder if he has a little relation to Graham DeVore. One a junior and the other one a senior.
I think we're finding some connections here. And that really speaks to kind of the close-knit community here at Mahtomedi. You see a lot of generations come through this school, and we definitely see it on display here with homecoming.
We saw it with Team Emmy last year in lacrosse. That was a big thing, for the Mahtomedi community. It was great. This community really seems like a tight-knit group, like you just said. Very fun, very close. Great time out here in Mahtomedi.
Yeah, and definitely at a time like homecoming, you really see that on display.
Exactly.
Well, we're going to take a little bit of a timeout, but we are going to stay with you, and we want to remind you of some of the other programming we have here on TV 19 Sports, including Your Business Matters. And every month, Tom Snell and the White Bear Lake Chamber of Commerce bring in a guest who is either a business owner in White Bear Lake or has some connection to White Bear. This 20-minute show provides good insight into what issues are affecting many local business owners. Your Business Matters airs every Tuesday at 6 p.m. and Friday at 9:30. That is Your Business Matters, only here on Channel 19.
Yeah, as always, great programming on Channel 19. Fun to watch, especially Sports Path.
Yeah, we don't want to forget about Sports Path. Sports Path, got to remind you that every other Wednesday live at 7 with John and myself. Keeping you up to date with all things East Metro Athletics for your Fab 5 schools.
Nice little pass there. Another little out route, this time to Mitch Bradley, senior, getting his first catch of the game. I think Mahtomedi is going to start employing some of their younger guys, maybe get them a little taste. I think this one's a little out of reach for the Hastings Raiders now.
I got to tell you that end of the first quarter crept up on me. It looks like end of the third quarter has as well, as we are now into the fourth.
Well into yeah, we're about 30 seconds in. I was going to say well in, but we just started the fourth. Either way, this game is just flying by.
Voyan now with the reception. Looks like he's got enough for the first down. And Mahtomedi will get it up to their own 41.
Yeah, I'm very surprised that you said Voyan's taking that big step up from his junior to senior year. And you know these guys, it's their last year. They hit the weight room, they hit the practice room hard. I think this Mahtomedi team wants to put it all together and win this Class 5A.
Well, just, knowing Voyan and this Mahtomedi team with the running attack with Jalen Fry and TJ Tumbleson and having a big receiver like Voyan, I knew that if he could really step things up and be, contribute a lot to that passing attack, it would really, round out that Mahtomedi offense and make them a well-balanced team.
That is not a guy you want to see with some momentum running the ball. Save there, Sam Tumbleson hitting the open gap. I think if that Hastings defender didn't tackle him low. Tumbleson was going to hit the little truck stick, bring that one for a few more yards.
Absolutely. You got to imagine with the 24-point lead here with time running in the fourth quarter, it is going to be TJ Tumbleson time.
You know what, Sam? I was talking about the stickers on the back of the helmet like college football, but they actually do have stickers on their helmet. Tumbleson seems to have the most of the offense. No surprise there.
Yeah, I think well-deserved, no doubt. Pitch to Jalen Fry, and this is where you see a dangerous Mahtomedi team. It's that 1-2 punch.
Tumbleson with another great block right there to open up that hole. I don't know if you saw it, Sam, but defender penetrated. Tumbleson just knocks him out, creates the hole for Jalen Fry right there. What a great tandem. If I was Jalen Fry, I would be taking Tumbleson out for dinner tonight.
And we'll take a look. Not sure if we'll get the big block in from 34, but nice effort from one Jalen Fry.
Lots of good restaurants around here, not too expensive. Jalen Fry, take your man out.
Sound like TJ Tumbleson's agent there.
I'm trying. He's having a great game.
And Jalen Fry going to do some stuff on his own there a little bit, getting some extra yardage, and yeah, it will move the sticks. Another first down.
Yeah, just see Jalen Fry taking it. Great. You know what? He's had space to run all, this whole second half, Sam, and that's the difference in this game besides the turnovers. But Mahtomedi taking advantage of the turnovers to get this, scoring 14 points here in the second half. But you know what I've been really impressed with, Sam, is the Mahtomedi defense. Words cannot describe how good they've been tonight. We haven't really talked about them because they've just been that good, but they've had Spencer Scott laying some huge hits, Reyes with 2 interceptions, just a great all-around defense.
Jalen Fry gets it off left tackle. Tries to leap a defender. He'll be brought down right around the 10-yard line. Another nice pickup from number 1.
Yeah, he continues to have holes to run through. You see this right here. He takes the handoff. Just a big hole. Nice blocking up front there by number 87, Ryan Waldock, the tight end, the senior tight end. Jalen Fry trying to make the leap at the end, just couldn't get it, but I think that could have been SportsCenter top 10 worthy if he would have made that leap.
Yeah, would have definitely made it onto Sports Path, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, yeah.
So Pramble goes from under center, I form behind him. He's going to hand it off to TJ
he's
Tumbleson.
Taking this one in.
Nobody's going to stop him.
I think a defender moved out of the way.
TJ Tumbleson.
I think a defender moved out of the way there, Sam. He didn't want to get struck by TJ Tumbleson. Him getting his second touchdown of the night. Not only laying out great blocks, you'll see right here. Taking the handoff. Yeah, trying to arm tackle TJ Tumbleson is not going to work here, guys. Hastings just with a very disappointing second half. I really don't know what else to say, Sam. It's just, this has been very impressive by Mahtomedi, but very sloppy for Hastings.
Tumbleson now picking up his 8th touchdown on the year. He and Jalen Fry kind of going back and forth there for the team lead in scores.
It's always nice to see the big boys getting their recognition, not only with the great blocks, but the great 2 touchdowns. Great 1-2 punch there, but I tell you what, Sam, if they want to make it far and go to the state championship, they really got to, I think they just got to pass a little better.
I think you're right, John. We've seen a little bit of the passing attack here tonight, but yeah, I think that's something that after this game's all said and done, Mahtomedi coaching staff will look to maybe improve on that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean they've had a lot of success with Voyan and getting stuff out to the flats to Fry and Tumbleson, but they need to find another wide receiver who can step up, take a little bit of the pressure off of number 9, and just continue to just open up the field. And if they can open up their offense, this team could go far.
Yeah, I mean, with that rushing attack, the more you open up with the passing attack, just complements that running game. And as we've seen, Mahtomedi is so good on the ground that the passing attack can only help things.
Do you know who number 1 is in Class 5A, Sam?
Off the top of my head, I do not.
We do know that South St. Paul is number 1 in Class 4A, and they absolutely demolished this Hastings team 26-0. So as you said, Sam, it's really disappointing that they're not playing each other.
Clay Harris on the return again. Yeah, now with the addition of the 6A, you know, a few years ago, I'm a little unclear on who exactly is in that 5A class these days. But I think we can have one of our wonderful staff looking up who that is, the top ranking here in Class 5A.
By wonderful staff, you mean I'm just sitting here on my phone about to look this up. Oh, our truck guy, our truck stat guy, did not get that. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to look up this right here. Fortunately.
Some of the amazing coverage we bring you here on TV 19 Sports. I don't think it matters. I'm going to say that Mahtomedi should be ranked number 1.
Yeah,
they're pretty darn good.
Yeah, they're a very good team.
So quick out to Weiss, and he'll pick up a nice little gain as he gets about 15 and pushed out on the far sideline.
Yeah, Sam, they've had success going to Weiss all game, and after that first drive, they kind of went away from Weiss, and he was having a stellar look, just making all the plays himself, breaking tackles. Great job right there. You know, the Hastings offense just seemed really out of sync after that first drive, after that interception. It was an absolute killer.
Yeah, I've liked Weiss. He seems like he's a nice little player that they have there. And he's done his part for this Hastings offense tonight.
He sure has, Sam. He's been awfully great.
Handoff will go to Mbu. Bounces outside. He'll have a little lane to run. Nearly gets through it. But nice job by number 8, Jawado Kuwat, tripping him up as he just passed midfield.
Yeah, he continues to have room to run on the outside. And, you know, like I said, I don't know why they continue to target the middle, running him up the middle. It hasn't worked all game. I get they're trying to keep the defense up front, as I said earlier, trying to keep them to stack the box, open up the pass a little bit. Hasn't worked.
It will be first down and 10 for Hastings. Brown's going to look to the left, throw it up. He's got a receiver, but can't quite bring it in as he was looking for number 36, Jacob Brake.
Almost caught that one off the helmet, a little Calvin Johnson at Georgia Tech action. I don't know if anybody remembers that catch, but that kind of made Calvin Johnson as big as he was. You'll just see this, a nice pass here. Defender not really looking, you'll see right here. Almost a great catch there. Unfortunately, just couldn't come down. That would have been big for the Raiders.
Jimmy Walker defending the play for Mahtomedi, and that was dynamite by number 28, Jimmy Walker.
I like it, Sam.
Jacob Brown goes out left, finds Nathaniel Weiss again.
There
Weiss makes the first tackler miss, plows through another, and falls ahead for 12 or 13.
Breaking tackles, Sam. Breaking tackles. Look at this. Just a nice little pass out here to Weiss. Breaking a tackle. You got to wrap up right there if you're the defender. Trucking people down. Weiss is a nice little player for Hastings. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure he is a senior. He is actually, yep, he is a senior. So he cannot build out this year, but great way, you know, continue your senior year.
Yeah, providing good leadership for the Hastings Raiders is number 11.
See right here, a little run by Mbu. Just getting up the middle. Continues to not have very much success.
You got to give a lot of credit to Mbu. A lot of touches in this game. Definitely the workhorse on offense. Not an easy thing to do, battling for tough yardage all night long.
Yeah, right now, going back to the Class 5A rankings, Elk River is number 1.
Oh, sure. Always good sports programs up there in Elk River. Not surprised with that one. Why don't you round out that top 5 for us, John?
All right, the top 5, number 1's Elk River sitting at 4-0. Spring Lake Park sitting at number 2, 4-0. Mankato West, once again, number 3, 4-0. And then you got Mahtomedi at 4-0. And then a very surprising Chanhassen team, 4-0 as well. And you see Chanhassen, once they got out of that 6A division with Eden Prairie, that's probably why they're having such a good year.
I was going to say, yeah, they've been a good football team here for a couple years. Mankato West, always strong. So we got some major players up at the top of 5A. Exciting times for high school football here in Minnesota. And definitely exciting times if you're a Mahtomedi Zephyr fan.
Yeah, we continue to see Mbu having success here in the 4th quarter, but unfortunately just a little too late for Hastings Raiders. You just see it bounces this one outside. As I said, Sam, off the tackle, they've had success all game. I don't know why they haven't been running it. He hasn't really ever been stopped in that play.
Yeah, the interesting thing, too, is I think when he has success going outside, is it actually is a designed inside run that he bounces outside to himself. So I'm not surprised, or I am surprised that they haven't designed a few more outside runs for him, aside from, you know, kind of that shovel pitch that we've seen.
Yeah, there it is again. He just was right next to the tackle, or right between the tackle and the guard, and he bounces it out. You'll see right here, he just follows his blocker, bounces it outside. They've had success with that all game, Sam. I don't know why they didn't run it. Kind of bewilders me a little bit.
Just got to wonder how much of that is just an individual effort there from 28.
Great blocking though up front as well. And they've also had success with the slants over the middle besides the deep slants, which created 2 interceptions. This could be a totally different ball game if those were touchdowns.
Well, and even on those deep slants, I mean, those were good looks. It was just poor execution. You know, I mean, he did have some receivers open. He had a nice shot, and Brown just kind of threw it a little behind. Maybe try to force, you know, that last one to Reyes. I think it was just a little bit forced. Didn't quite have the arm strength to get it to him. But also nice job by Reyes to kind of step in there and be first to the football.
Yeah, we saw Mbu on that last play get tackled behind the line. I think Mahtomedi just knows what they're going to do now, and they're just going to stack the box.
As handoff does go inside to Mbu, and he charges ahead for a tough gain.
Gets the first down there, and Mahtomedi was coming. They kind of just, Mahtomedi knew it was coming. They just stopped. They just didn't complete the play.
And it looks like we will have a third down. It's third down and goal from the 7-yard line. And you got to imagine it's 2-down territory here for the Hastings Raiders.
I tell you what, Sam, if those 2 interceptions weren't thrown and there was a fumble down there, I really think this game could be about 21-14 right now. It's just unfortunately it hasn't gone Hastings' way. Just some mental errors right there. Mbu gets in there with the touchdown. Once again, an off-tackle run.
Yeah, tough yardage as he kind of powered himself forward for the score as Hastings gets on the board, making it 31-6. Impressive run from 28, Ovi Mbu.
Yeah, just look at this. He almost gets tackled in the backfield, but once again, they go off tackle. He kind of just makes things happen himself. Worked the whole drive. It's been working all game. Gotta keep feeding him.
That's what I mean when I say you got to give credit to 2-8 there in white, as he's had a tough game all night long. You know, taking the workload and getting tough yardage in there. He still doesn't even give up, giving it his all, making sure he gets into the end zone.
Yeah, I really think if this Hastings team could clean up some of these turnovers that they've had today, they're a pretty good football team, actually.
They'll go for 2, and again, Mbu gets the handoff, and I think he gets in. He does, in fact, get in, and that will make things 31-8. Mahtomedi still leading here at homecoming. Well, we are going to break after Hastings gets on the board. It's homecoming for Mahtomedi. They lead 31-8.
My name is Blake. I received a heart transplant when I was 2 weeks old. I play defense for the Red Hot Tornadoes. Sometimes my heart starts pounding like faster and faster as I go. I know I have someone else's heart inside me. It makes me feel happy because someone was generous enough to give me a second chance to live.
This gift of life was made possible by an organ donor. Imagine what you could make possible. Sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
Welcome back. Mahtomedi leading 31-8, 5:29 left to go in the ball game. It's been all smiles on the Mahtomedi sideline as they're leading here homecoming at George Smith Field.
Yeah, you just saw a shot of TJ Tumbleson having a heck of a game tonight. Great blocks, creating some open holes there for Jalen Fry, but also capping off some drives with some great touchdowns, Sam.
And Hastings going to go for the onside kick. It does travel 10 yards, and they definitely have a chance to get it.
I think Mahtomedi's got this one, Sam.
Hastings does recover. So this thing might get interesting as Hastings got another chance to score.
Sam, I've seen some onside kicks in college and high school and in the pros. That was actually one of the better ones I've ever seen.
Well, I think the important thing is, as always with the onside kick, is make sure it goes 10 yards.
And make sure it rolls. Like that thing had some nice spin, some great roll.
And that ball kind of with that low bounce, I mean, that's tough to handle if you're the receiving team. Gets a nice pop up there, but then it takes that low bounce kind of through the player from Mahtomedi off a little bit, trying to recover. And it'll be Hastings football.
Let's see what they can do right here. Unfortunately, I still think it's a little too late, Sam.
5:26 left to go. 31-8 is your score. Hastings with the ball. They are in Mahtomedi territory at the 47. Handoff delayed. Will go to Ovi Embu, and Embu will pick up 8, maybe 9. Ball comes out late, and I think the referees are going to say he was down.
Very lucky there for Embu. That could have been his 3rd turnover of the game. You see right here. Let's see if he hits the ground right here. Just a nice delayed handoff. Once again, Embu doing it all himself. Well, that ball was out, Sam. That ball was out. Very lucky call there, but unfortunately it's still, like I said, it's a little too late for the Hastings Raiders.
Yeah, bang, bang play there. Referee said he was down. Throw out of the reach of number 11, Nathaniel Weiss.
And it looks like Embu, once again, has been benched for fumbling the ball.
Yeah, number 20, Clay Harris coming in to take over for Ovi Embu.
It's got to be very difficult your senior year. You're playing a great team in Mahtomedi. You have a couple fumbles. I mean, not his fault. They've had some hard hits Mahtomedi has on him in the backfield. But it's got to be very tough to get benched your senior year after you're having. And this offense has been riding his coattails the whole game. So, I mean, if you get the ball as much as he has, the ball's going to slip out once in a while.
Harris on the carry.
And I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a chance to come back into this one. Although Clay Harris doing a nice job. He picks up the first down after a tough gain of 4. And there's a look at number 20, checking his play card on the forearm.
Yeah, going quick offense right now.
And he'll take the shovel pass out to the right, get some blocks, and Harris looks like he may have another first down.
Yeah, it looks like Mahtomedi went for the ball. He bobbled it while he was running. He got smacked right out there. I don't know if we can get the replay of that one, but he was lucky. He held on to the ball because that one almost rolled right away from him.
And he is out of bounds. Clock will stop. Oh, clock will resume. Didn't quite get out of bounds. Stopped for the first down. And now we're ready to count things back down. 4:20 left to go here, ball game. Brown looks to the left, finds Nathaniel Weiss. Weiss doing some dancing, and he drops the ball again. So Weiss already lost a fumble earlier. This one he gets back. So that's another fumble for the Hastings Raiders here in the second half.
I feel like if we would have been playing Madden about 2006, you would hear John Madden say, back in the old day, we used to put stickum on our hands, and I think that's what Hastings needs to do.
They need to stick their hands in like a batch of honey. Do something to hold on to it.
Somebody get this Hastings team some bees.
That's right. Where's Winnie the Pooh when you need him?
Harris on the carry.
I think Winnie the Pooh's eating that honey, not putting it on his hands.
I tell you who is eating the honey, the Mahtomedi defense. Absolutely great game tonight, Sam. Very impressive overall. That's why they're number 4. I wouldn't be very surprised if these guys don't at least jump up in the standings. But either way, being ranked number 4 in the state, being undefeated is something very good to keep building off of. And as we talked about, if they could just spread the ball out a little more on offense, find a different receiver, this is going to be a very, very dangerous Mahtomedi team. And when you have a defense, like I don't think they've gotten enough recognition tonight, Sam. Absolutely phenomenal game.
Yeah, great job all around from the Zephyrs here on homecoming. Getting that home crowd excited and putting on a great show for all the generations of Zephyr fans in attendance this evening.
I tell you what, we will have some Spencer Scott hits, number 6 for Mahtomedi on Sports Path. You know, maybe we could give the male athlete of the week to the entire Mahtomedi defense for the thing they put on there tonight. I don't know. Stay tuned. 2 weeks from now, guys, you'll see who it is.
That's right. That's your department, John. You are the athletes of the week guy.
If I had to give it
your choice,
TJ Tumbleson, he's been absolutely great today.
Brown looks to the right, just out of the reach of Weiss.
Center for Weiss, incomplete.
Just going to take a look at Mahtomedi's schedule here upcoming. They have North St. Paul a week from today, but then things really get interesting when they travel to Park a week from next week on the 14th. And that'll be a great game. Another team we saw here on TV 19.
It's going to be very interesting to see them play against Brandon Alt and the cannon he has and the way he's able to run the ball. And also Lucas Lillidahl, the way he can run. As we said, if Hastings could have done a little more quarterback, running back option, and Park's very good at that. So we'll see. It's going to be a great matchup, Sam. Unfortunately, we will not be able to cover it.
But we will tell you about everything that happened on Sports Path.
Link puts on the tackle. First down, Raiders.
About 2 minutes left, Sam. 31-8.
And you got to believe if Mahtomedi can get past Park of Cottage Grove, they're going to be good for at least a share of the East Metro Red District Conference crown.
Yeah, Park's only loss coming to a very good South St. Paul by 3 at South St. Paul, who they're #1. So it's very surprising to me that Park is not ranked. I might have a little bias because I went to Park, but the game we watched the other night was a very, very good Park team.
Well, and when your only loss comes to the team ranked #1 in your class by 3 points, that means you're at least, in that top 10. I think you're a team that can at least hang with them, and that was on the road for Park, so even more impressive.
Very much so, Sam. I mean, Brandon Alt, I think that kid's got a very bright future ahead of him, whether he's playing Division II college football. He'll definitely get recognized for the way he's been playing.
There's a score. Number 20, Clay Harris gets in for Hastings to make it 31-14. And the Raiders doing a little something on offense late in the ball game here.
Once again, a little handoff to the outside. It continues to work for Hastings. Where's that been, Sam? Where's it been?
Maybe a little too late here, but nice job by the Raiders getting on the board again. And they will go for 2. That touchdown coming after they recovered that onside kick.
Kudos to Hastings for continuing to battle. That's what you like to see out of these high school kids. And all these seniors playing for Hastings, they're going to give it all they got no matter what happens and, set this team up. Let these juniors know that you never give up in a football game.
Yeah, you got to love that attitude there. They fought it all the way through. 2-point conversion fails. So the score will stay 31-14. Minute 39 left to go. And Clay Harris getting into the end zone for the first time this year. So nice job for number 20 on Hastings.
Yeah, Clay Harris, a senior. You got to be very happy all the hard work he's been putting in this year and probably throughout his whole career getting his first touchdown. Maybe of his career, I'm not sure. I don't know what he did his junior year, but either way, hard work pays off, and I'm sure he's got to be very happy even though his team's losing, but if you're his parents, I'm sure he's very proud, especially to be in the backup to Embu.
Yeah, getting a chance to get in here and show his stuff. That replay we just saw was the failed 2-point conversion. Touchdown happened right before that, of course. And looks like we will see Hastings doing another onside kick.
Yeah, you know what, Sam? They actually kicked it last time to Tumbleson. He was the one who bobbled that last onside kick, so.
I thought it maybe was him. I was kind of interested to see that he was on the hands team, and I think they might just boot this one away. Yeah, they do the low line drive kick, takes one hop. Jalen Fry picks it up, and eventually he'll head out of bounds.
What a great leap over the bench right there by Jalen Fry. This kid can do it all.
I know, I was just going to say he runs out of bounds to keep himself safe, and then all of a sudden he did the leap over the bench, and I'm sure everyone in the stands as well as the coaching staff held their breath for a second, hoping that he'll make it over. But a kid with that athleticism able to clear it pretty easy.
Yeah, on the scouting card, you'll see great speed, great agility, can jump over benches.
Yeah, I like that. So 1:33 left to go. First down and 10. Mahtomedi looks like backup quarterback number 5 in the game for the Zephyrs.
Hastings coming with the house right here.
And got flags flying on both sides of the field.
I guess that's a little bit of an encroachment there, Sam, the way the penalty came out late like that. That was actually a false start, maybe a false start, it sounds like. Looks like.
It looks like they weren't quite able to get the flag in before the play went off.
With the Mahtomedi offensive line getting a little jumpy, knowing that the house is coming. Either way, about a minute 30 left, just under a minute 30. This one's pretty much over.
So Drew Salmon coming in, number 5. Drew Salmon coming in for Mahtomedi at quarterback. Now they got number 12 out there, Jack Schweitz in at quarterback. Schweitz under center, hands off. And I believe that is number 22, Brandon Anderson, junior running back.
Yep, getting the young guys in.
Looks like Mahtomedi will just hand it off a few times to kind of run the clock out here. So nice effort from Mahtomedi. Things look pretty close going into the break. Some sloppy play from both sides to start it off. But Mahtomedi eventually winning that turnover battle. And it looks like they'll win this one outright to stay undefeated on the season.
Yep, just a great overall game there for Mahtomedi. Completely taken over the second half, Sam. Just great football. A lot of sloppy football there by Hastings. I'm sure their coach isn't too happy about the way things went down the second half because they had every chance to come back in this game when they were down 10-0. Mahtomedi turned over the ball a couple times. Unfortunately, they weren't able to take advantage, and that's why the score is 31-14.
And the last few seconds are going to tick off the clock as time expires. Mahtomedi is going to win their homecoming game 31-14 over Hastings. Nice job all around by the Zephyrs. They'll remain undefeated and will most likely stay ranked in Class 5A.
Yeah, they'll definitely be jumping up, and a great job by our production crew today. They always have to be recognized.
Yeah, there's a look at Jalen Fry. Number 1 had a couple touchdowns on the night here this evening. Well, for all of us here at TV19 Sports, I want to thank you for watching this one. It's been high school football here on TV19.